Hello guys, this is Bismarck again, and welcome back to another session on Rxjava operators. Last time, if you joined me, on my last video, I talked about my next video I'll be releasing, which is a tutorial on throttle operators. Okay, so today we are going to have a look at what throttle operators in Rxjava means. In throttle operators, we have variants. We have throttle first and throttle last. With the throttle last operator works similar to the sample operator. Sample operator is an operator I have already covered or had a video on in my previous videos. If you haven't taken a look at it, you could go into my channel and you will see the video on sample operator and how it works. But today we have a look at the throttle first operator. By the way, what is throttle first operator? This is an operator in Rxjava that emits the first item emitted by, or it actually allows the first item emitted by the source observable within a specific time, sequential time interval given. And what I mean is, let's have a look at probably let's look at this diagram. You can get this on a Reactive-X documentation page. First, it returns an observable that emits only the first item emitted by the source observable source during a sequential time window of a specified duration. And it goes again. Looking at the diagram, you see the red item. It starts emitting it, and it waits for a specified duration given it to elapse or to pass away. Then it will start with another emission, which is the yellow. Then it waits for the time. Within the time frame, the green item emitted, but it wasn't counted because it was within the time frame. Then after the time has emitted, then it goes on to emit the blue one or the light blue item. It goes on so on and so forth. So with this in mind, let's go into our studio and let's see how this works. So today we are going to show this with the range operator. The range operator. It's also an observable creator observable. Okay, and we are going to have is right now we want to start emission from zero to the 13th count. Okay, then as I said, always when it comes to you delaying an emission, actually in an interval delaying an emission, I always work with zip width. I have explained this in my previous tutorial. So what I want to do is, with this, is going to print from 0 up to the 13 within less than milliseconds. Very fast, less than some milliseconds. And I don't want that. What I want is, once for every item, each item emission, I want to have an interval of 1 second for every emission. So I am trying to combine this emission with one interval item so that I will get what I want. And that's what I'm doing. Then after that, I know that up to this point, I'm going to get 0, another in 1 second later, 1 in 1 second later, 2. So I'm going to have 1 second interval. Then this is where the throttle first operator comes in. So right now we are given a time frame of 2 seconds. So within the time frame of 2 seconds, now it will start emitting 0. After 2 seconds, it will start emitting the next item. Okay, so let's run this so that we will have idea. Seeing is believing. So let's run this and let's have idea of what is going to happen. Okay, so we run this. Okay, so let's have idea, but I know it will start from 0. Then after the next count, 1 will not come, 2 will not come, then 3 will come. So 0, 3, 6, and so forth. 0, 3, 6, 9, 12 should come, because as I said, every emission is for 1 second interval. Then it will allow 2 seconds to pass. So by the time the 2 seconds has passed, it is on the third item. So let's see this. Let's see this. Sorry. Exactly. Okay, so guys, you could see it. Let me run it again. I was listening on a different device. Let me run it again so that we can all have a look at it. It starts from 0. Then on the second count, 1 and 2 will emit, but it will emit between, actually in between the time given. So the 3 should be the next one. 6, 8, 11. Okay. So we are dealing with time. And guys, you see the emissions are different just because of the environment. It so the RAM, I mean the machine also counts. That will give you the time that the emission will occur. So should we run this again? I think we will get a different, or even less, maybe the same output. So okay, it falls within. Okay, 9. Okay, and I think 12. Okay, so as I said, don't worry about the time. It's all that it matters is the understanding. The time given is actually is waiting for maybe your computer, or how fast your machine is also working, and you see after 2 seconds how many let's say within a second how many items has been emitted. Okay, so that's what we are counting in here. But then I think that's all for the ThrottleFirst operator. But how useful is this operator? How do we actually use it? Yes, in our work or development. And I'll figure something out. Can you bear with me that sometimes during your development and we have released an application out, and let's say you have a click button, maybe the user you click on the user will click on the button for an action to occur, but maybe something is going on in the background and it will seem to the user nothing is clicked, and the user will keep on clicking it multiple times. Okay, and this is something sometimes maybe the task, if the task is very big and you have not really conditioned very much or very well, you see that maybe the app will be crashing, or maybe some weird behavior will come. We don't want that. So let's see how we will use the throttle first in our work. And let's see this. Okay, so I have one example here that I would like to I would like for us to talk about. Okay, so let's quickly, yeah, so let's go to that. Mm, okay, so let me run this so that we are coming to test this example with a click button. Okay, so a click button, and what are we going to get? Let's wait for it to finish launching. Okay, now it launches. So I want to do something like this. 2, then the user will be clicking on it multiple times. We don't want that. We want this only to come. Okay, we want this only to come. Okay, I think I have this example in place. So let me run it again so that we can see the experience. We can see what I am talking about. So this is our preamble. Let's say 3, keep on clicking. By the time you know, the 3 has been added more than. Sorry, I'm coming. I have to let me uncomment this. Okay, let's run it again. I've forgotten that I have commented out the function, so let's run it again. Then we will see what I'm talking about. It's running. Okay. Yes. So let's say the 3 example that I gave, we click on this multiple times, and by the time you know, okay, so this is what we see here. We could see that the 3 times for continuously a number of times, we click on the save button to save the 3, and we could see that 3 has occurred 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 a number of times. We do not want this. This is a scenario I'm putting forward. I want us to, whenever the user clicks on the button for, let's say, 1 for the first time, it should kind of deactivate the button for some seconds or for some time frame before it gets activated again. So that's what we want to take a look at with the ThrottleFirst operator. Okay, so let's look at that now. Okay, with the ThrottleFirst operator, this is it. So I'm using Jake Watson's library that's convert our clicks, our actions into observables. So if you want to have a look at this library, you go to so this is the implementation, Jake Watson RS binding library. So RS binding library, you can have a look at it. Then if you want to convert your actions into observable, you can implement this library. It's very good. And with the RS click, all that, so this converts the clicks of this button into observable. Okay, and we are applying the throttle first. So all that we want to have it when the user clicks on it for the first time, so this action will be triggered. Okay, but when the user keeps on clicking on this button within that time frame, it will not execute this action. It will wait for after 3 seconds before it will execute the action. Fine. So let's run this and see what happens. So it will, when the user clicks on the button, it will wait for 3 seconds. If no matter how many times the user clicks on the button, it will still wait for the 3 seconds before the action will be triggered. Okay, and I am logging this as throttle click me. So we will see from the console. So this is the console. Let's search for this tag click me. Okay, so now we have it here. So maybe nice reading. Okay, so let's see how many times this action will be called. I'm click on it. You see, click me has come once. Now, so many times, but it is occurring 3 times, no matter how many. So what I'm just saying is the click was done once, and after 3 seconds before the action get triggered. So now we have known, or we have learned how to use ThrottleFirst in our implementation. Okay, yes, in our implementation. And someone could ask, I see some people sometimes trying to combine or trying to understand or get the clarity between the bounce operator and ThrottleFirst. Fine, the bounce operator can also help you to get the output or do the work after some time. But what will happen is, if let's say we want to use the bounce operator in here, what is going to happen is when I click on the nice the nice reading on the button, it will take the action will happen after the click is done. So the time given to this, let me explain this. So let's say the debounce was 3 seconds, meaning after this click was done, it will wait for 3 seconds and check. If no activity or no click is done, then it will trigger to save, or it will actually trigger to perform this action, what I have highlighted. So, and it's not going to seem to be very nice experience to the user, because if you have the application and the user clicks on it, and all the user sees is nothing is happening, and it will wait for some time. Let's say the time given to it before the work will be done. The user will seem to be like the app is not working as it should be. It's not behaving well. Okay, so in this instance, you cannot use the bounce, but the bounce operator can be used very fine when we are doing searching, because with the search, the user search for it within some time frame. After the user clicks, searches for the item, then within that time frame given as the debounce timeout, then it will just search for you. Okay, so let's not try to confuse the debounce with the throttle first. Okay, yes, so this is the end of our tutorials, guys. If you haven't subscribed to these tutorials, we are really teaching and talking about a very realistic stuff, interesting stuff in here. So if you haven't subscribed to this tutorial, please do, so that on my next video you could have a look at what I am talking about, and so that we can all learn. Click on the red button below this video, and you will be subscribed to my tutorials or my channel. Thank you guys, and have a happy coding.